Good afternoon. Listen, real quick. I wanted you guys to help me with something. I want to see if you can help me with something. Um, I have, turn this screen on in front of me. I have a situation that I think I would like some feedback on to help me do what it is I put this over here. To help me make a decision. Okay, so let me give you the scenario. Okay, so uh, everybody's been talking about this book. I'm not going to tell you the name of the book because I don't want to bias your opinion. Okay, it's not the Bible, by the way. But so everybody's been talking about this book. Now the things I've heard about this book are flat out amazing things. And it makes me want to read the book. Well, it made me want to read the book. So the book it's a thick book though. Like it's like 500 pages. Okay, so 500-page book, no pictures, small text. So it's a long book, right? But I've heard really great things about the book. Now I've also heard that the challenge is that most people don't finish the book. Okay, they'll start it, but they won't finish the book. But they say if you make it to the end, it's so I've heard people say that is probably one of the best books you'll ever read. That's what the reviews say, and that's what people have told me. It's probably the best book you'll ever read if you get through it and you finish it. So here's my challenge. I decided to get the book. Okay. So I get the book and oh, nice cover, right? So I started reading the book. Sure enough, when I start reading the book, flat out amazing. Like, um, it's unreal how it's a really it's a good book. Okay, at least that's how it starts off. But where I am now is like I wrote it down. I'm like around page 20, 25. The book is starting to get weird. They said it would get weird. They say, but keep going. Like just finish reading the book. So the part that I'm in, it's just and again, I don't want to tell you about I don't want to give it away. But here's why I need your help. I'm on around page 20, 20, 22, 23, somewhere between 20 and 25. So that means I have 500 minus, I have like 470 something more pages to go. But where I am now, man, it is, I, the book, it's uncomfortable. That's a good way. It's uncomfortable to continue reading. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think I should do? And I don't know if I can bring up comments on here. Yeah, I could see comments. If anybody's watching this live, just do you think I should continue reading the book or not? I just, who thinks I should continue reading the book, and who thinks that I should just don't read that. They say the end is absolutely amazing. You get through the book, but there's some fear that is kicked in. I'll be honest with you. And so, in all the reviews that I've read and what I've heard people say, before I make my decision, I said, let me see what other folks say. What would you do? What would you do? Would you continue reading, even though it's really like it's very triggering, right? It's very it creates anxiety, at least in me. And I get that it's just a book, but you don't understand the level of anxiety. And they say the thing is, most people don't finish the book. So what would you suggest? Okay, so Kelvin Keisha Horton said, continue the book. Okay, so that's one opinion. That's where I'm leaning. That's where I'm leaning to continue. But I wish this was Zoom so we could interact, because I really want to know why you would say continue the book. I'm telling you how I'm feeling. What would make you say continue the book? And I just want to know your opinion. Just want to know your opinion about why. Now, here's what I push through. Continue. Okay. I was thinking that's probably what most people would say, if not everybody, say push through the book. Why? Because it's a 500-page book, and I'm only on page 20, right? And even though it's crazy, jacked up, whatever, the book is already, it's not like, if I keep reading, then the end of the book is going to change. If they say the book is amazing in totality, then it's amazing. You just got to finish it. So what's my fear in completing the book? So everybody says push through till the end. But isn't it interesting that people get married and they say they're signing up for forever? When we get married, I'm committing to forever. But in year one, they want to quit. You signed up for forever. It's shaky, crazy, triggering in year one. And you want to cancel the rest of the book because this part you don't like. Why would people say, well, no, in the book you push through, but in marriage, I know I signed up for forever, but I don't like it right now. And it looks like it's not going to change. You're in year one. How do you know? Do you know that we've never known the future? You've never, ever been in your future. The only reason you would stop in year one or 2, 3, 4, or 5. And so I'm primarily, by the way, there's no real book. Okay. This is an analogy. So I'm primarily talking to newlyweds, because a lot of my clients, they've been married less than 5 years, right? First 5 years. That first year is a doozy. First 2 years is, right? And people give up in the first 2 years or 3 years like I did. I'm not going to judge people. My last marriage, I gave up in 3 years. I didn't have the wisdom that I have now. But people give up. You signed up for forever, but you give up in the beginning because it's difficult. When you've heard over and over, marriage is amazing. Marriage is great. Now, you got to make it great. I get that. All you need is better tools. But we quit on the difficult chapter or the difficult parts of the book, projecting today onto tomorrow when we've never known the future. So I did some numbers. So now these are averages, right? So let's say on average, let's say you get married at 30. Okay. Marriage is always meant to be a lifelong commitment. So you get married at 30. Some people get married before that. Some people get married after that, but that's the number we're going to use. And let's say you're going to live till, I'm going to say 75, right? You can live beyond that. But for the numbers we're using married at 30, death at 75. So that's 45. So your forever is 45 years. Okay. If your forever is 45 years, and in year, so I'm getting married, I'm signing up for forever. So you signed up for 45 years. But in year one, you want to quit. That is, actually, I didn't do the numbers for number. I did. So 5 years is only 11% of forever. 5 years only. So you finished 11% of the book. And you say, I don't want to read this no more. Give me another book. But you signed up for forever. 5 years, let's see. 2 years. A lot of people don't make it past 2 years. In 2 years, with the numbers that I gave for the 45 years, that's only 4% of the book. That's only 4% of forever. So this 4%, you're going to allow to dictate and determine what the other 96% is going to look like, because this is uncomfortable here. I was thinking about that last night. I don't know why, but I was thinking about that. Like, if it's a book, even though it's difficult, people would say, no, keep going to the end. Why? Because, I mean, it's just difficult right now. Like, that is, the rest of the book is not going to be, it's different if, we always hear, this is a terrible book, or marriage is, don't get married. It sucks. Like, you're going to be miserable. Well, yeah, I mean, you're signing up for what you already believe is going to be miserable. But most people get married with the hopes that it's going to be great, and you signed up for forever. That was interesting to me when I was thinking about that. We'll push through a bad book because we're at the beginning. Now, if you've gotten halfway through the book, like, I've watched a terrible movie before, gotten halfway through the movie because I'm trying to give it time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not finna watch the rest of this. I've done that. But that's halfway through, 75% through if I don't finish. But there are some movies that have been terrible that I finished all the way to the end. And I was like, well, that sucked. Now, I know that living life and living marriage is different than watching a movie and reading a book. I get that. I'm just talking about the numbers and how you sign up for forever. But in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're ready to quit because you perceive that tomorrow is going to look like today. When you've never known the future, there are things that, because the future hasn't happened, there are things that you can do to not live this same reality forever. So my goal was to encourage you to push through the difficult times, get some help, come see me, go see somebody, but you don't have to quit. Now, obviously I'm speaking in general, right? There's always gray areas to everything. Somebody try to kill you in the first year, I think you've reached forever. It's time to go. Forever. We got there quick. Abuse. But I'm speaking in general. I'm speaking when how we were both raised is different and we come together. We don't like the same things. We fight about stuff every day. That ain't reason to quit. That's reason to grow. That's all it means. You got to grow. You can't have your way. And that's the thing. If you quit early, marriage is the greatest place of growth, I believe. I don't believe anything will grow you like marriage. We can learn outside of relationships, but we really grow in relationship. You can learn information outside of relationships, but where we really grow is inside relationships. Perfect example. I'll share this with you and I'll let you go. I use myself as an example. One of the things I pride myself on is being the kind of therapist that's transparent because I'm human, right? Don't think I've figured out everything just because I teach this stuff, right? I'm doing life just like you on the same planet, same struggles, right? Same truth. I have to apply it too. It's not easier for me. So, the marriage that I'm in now, I told my wife, honestly, for me, this feels like the first time I've really been in a genuine, real relationship. Maybe a couple of other times, but they were not this long. So with that in mind, there are things that I believe, things that I've learned, things that I teach that are difficult for me to walk out in action. Why? Because learning it is one thing, doing it is something else. And so my wife had to grab the concept that, hey, he teach this, but I see that he's learning how to do it too. That's the thing. You could be in the classroom all you want, learning how to play basketball. But your skills are not going to be tested until you get in the game. And so I say that to say, what you think about marriage, what you've learned about marriage, what you think you know how to do. When you get in marriage and you're not able to do that, or your spouse isn't able to do that, don't give up. Grow. Keep pushing. Get past yourself, really. People talk about, I'm just trying to get to happily ever after, but they never tell you after what. Let me tell you what happily comes after. After the murder of pride. And I say murder because you got to kill it. You can't. So like if pride was a person, you don't want to give pride like, here, drink this cyanide. No, you want it to be violent. I need to kill you immediately. I don't know where that came from. But my point is, happily ever after comes after the death of pride. Meaning self, what I want, what I need, what I desire. When you shift from me to us, now you're growing. Okay. So I hope that was helpful for you. And if you're married within those first 5 years and it's just not going, like, even if it's terrible, I'm going to encourage you, push through to the end of the book. Because unlike a book that's already written, this particular book, you can write yourself. Because why? The future hasn't happened. Tomorrow don't have to look like today if you do the work. But in order to do that, you got to commit yourself to work on self, not on your partner. Remember, the way that you have a great marriage is by becoming a great spouse, not wishing you had one. Your work is working on you. Their work is working on them. But as far as you're concerned, work on you to become a better lover, so that you'll make sure that the end of your book, when you get to forever, it's like, oh man, that was an amazing book. When you standing before God, God will be like, that was a good book. I like reading y'all's love story. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.